In the airtight construction that we do, the ceiling is the most important area in the house that we got to deal with. One of the problems, and a big gaping hole in it, is just like windows in a wall, is our recessed can lights that go in the ceiling. Now, if you wanted to make it as airtight as possible and not have to worry about, I would recommend you not use the recessed cans. But that's not going to happen. Very few homeowners are not going to want to have these in the house. And so instead of trying to talk people into not using them, it's just how can we figure out to deal with them when they're in their area. With can lights on a simple, I think we're in a 12 to 1300 square feet house, we have 30 can lights penetrating up into the attic. So if we allow those areas to leak, even an airtight can, we're still going to lose a lot of warm air that we're creating in the winter time that's going to be coming up and through the attic. One of the important things to do, even though we're using high performance lighting in this, we have to seal these cans as if somebody could someday put an incandescent light in. It's important, and it's a safe thing to do, because if that incandescent in this overheats, you could have a fire, the light will constantly turn off and on, you'll have all kinds of problems. So we prepare for the worst case scenario. To be able to give that enough room for that can light to put off that heat, is we put a specially made cover for this and then completely air sealed around here. I'm going to tear this off so you can see what it looks like underneath, but before we do that, I wanted to show you all this spray foam here is where the wiring comes through, so you got to make sure and seal that. And then we're sealing with orange spray foam so we can tell where that can handle the higher heat, and then it seals this to the drywall. We're going to actually, once we do all these can lights, we're going to do a blower door test with a thermal camera and make sure we got all the air leaks, which is important to do. But let me pull this off here. It'll be kind of messy. But as you can see underneath here, is we actually have our can light, where we put this cover underneath it and spray the foam around it. Because the problem is we always buy those airtight cans, but if you've ever done any kind of performance testing on a house with airtight cans installed correctly, they still leak a fair amount. By being airtight, that just means they leak less than your average can that you're going to get at a box store or somewhere where you're not paying the extra money for an airtight can. All of us know about attic insulation, but one important thing you have to do is you have to wait till the very end of the house before you spray in your insulation. The reason why that is there's still a lot of plumbing and electrical things that could happen. And if you've ever been in an attic after new construction, I don't think I've ever seen one that hasn't been walked through. And once you walk through that insulation, it's actually that depth, the air gaps in there that give us that R value, and every time you step on it, you can actually rob that area of that R value. On this particular house, we've gone through and we put through these everywhere so that when we're spraying it in, and we've got all these depth changes in the attic, we know that we're getting the right amount of insulation in our areas. For this house in particular, we're going to be doing R60, and for fiberglass, that means we're going to need to put in 20 inches, and we've got these marked throughout the attic so that we have a nice, even flow of insulation throughout it.